Welcome to WAM, the Wellness Arts and Military Podcast. We connect military communities with enriching arts programs for overall well-being. Join us to explore creativity, wellness, and resilience.
Hello and welcome to the Wellness Arts and Military Podcast. My name is Gabby. I am your host today. And here we have Jabari Owens Bailey. He is the program manager of the Hot Shop Heroes program at the Museum of Glass. Hello, Jabari. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you doing today, Gabriella?
Doing very good. Thank you so much. And I guess first off, if you could tell us just a little bit about yourself and your role as program manager.
Sure. I am a arts administrator, and I have been working at Museum of Glass as a curatorial education program manager for about 5.5 years right now. Um, I come from a background of art making that kind of pivoted into um, arts administration after graduate school. Yeah, I have been working with Hot Shop Heroes pretty much the whole time I've been at Museum of Glass.
That's amazing. I guess as an art administrator myself, a question is, did you work on your art form when you were being that role, when you were an administrator and throughout this whole process, have you been doing glass blowing or when did you start?
I have never been a glass blower. I
Oh,
did start out as a sculptor and 2D artist.
mm,
Went to undergrad and graduate school for it. But over the years, I have kind of stopped making my own work, and kind of have uh, developed a little bit of a curatorial practice.
mm.
Um, and so I've done some of that here at the museum as well as some other places. And that's kind of how I get my creative juices out now. And definitely trying to create programs that impact people's lives.
Yeah.
Those are things that kind of have started to bring meaning to me in terms of like what I want to do professionally.
Well, thank you so much for a little bit of backstory on you. And now, 5 years into being program manager with Hot Shop Heroes, a question I had was, how have you seen this program evolve? And how have you seen the structure, the focus of it potentially change?
Hot Shop Heroes, when I took over as the manager for the program, was during a restart,
Mm,
during, right, I guess I don't even want to say it right after the pandemic. I guess the pandemic was still kind of going on.
2020.
Yeah. And so I was tasked with managing the program, and I did not have a lot of information about kind of what had come before me. I just kind of knew what I was told by the people who worked with me, and as I restarted the program, at first it was pretty small, and then has been steadily growing since then. And then I ended up making some contact with some former participants um, and involving them in the program again. Um, One of the participants that I had some contact with ended up becoming um, one of my teachers, and then that participant's name was Jeremy Stringer.
Mm.
He ended up moving away to take a job, and then I was like, oh, we should keep this going, and we ended up having another one of our former participants, John Obermueller, uh, take that place as one of our teaching artists for Hot Shop Heroes as well, which I think is something that has helped us to not only understand um, what the experiences of being in Hot Shop Heroes is, but
Mm-hmm.
also experience in terms of understanding military culture. And so it's really great to have one of our teachers, who can basically translate some things that we don't know. Like I always say, you don't know what you don't know, and I believe in firmly in asking questions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so that has been a great help for us.
Yeah, I guess from reading the final reports that come in from Hot Shop Heroes, something that is always seen is bridging the gap between military and civilian life.
Right.
Not only that, but the camaraderie that you see within the folks that go through this program. How have you learned about the participants gaining confidence and how glass blowing plays a role in that and the healing process?
I think a lot of that information I've found out um, through personal testimonials. Um, People will come up to me and say, "This program is really changing my life."
Mm,
Uh, and what I thought at first were just kind of like a one-off anecdote has been repeated to me over and over again. Um, People saying that they were shut in before the program, or that they were looking for something that kind of gave them um, a new sense of purpose, um, or something to look forward to. Uh,
mm. And
uh,
that's the transformation, right? Is something to look forward to continue onward.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of my participants was saying that he was in the Navy, and he was on a ship, and he was in a area that looked really industrial and was hot and all this type of stuff. And he was like, and it very much reminds me of that when I come into
Mm,
the hot shop. Um, and and I think that's kind of one of the strengths of the program, that it provides a little bit of danger.
yep.
Um, it has this element of teamwork where everyone has something to do, whether you are actually the person on the bench, um, who is has the punty and is rolling it on the bench to use the centripetal force in order to have a bubble of glass kind of going and shaping that into something. Or you're a person who is holding a paddle uh, in front of that person, shielding them from uh, the ambient heat from the
Mm,
actual glass itself. Or you end up taking the punty away to reheat in the reheating chamber, so that you can give the glass back to your classmate. I mean, everyone is involved. Um, and
very tedious order of operations.
right, and
Yeah.
that order of operations involves multiple people, and I think in that way it kind of echoes military service, because um, people depend on each other to live. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and to have that same type of team atmosphere, um, where you depend on someone. Um, I don't know if you get that a lot in civilian life where you're depending on people as much. And so that kind of, I think that draws some parallels for our participants. And I think that's a helpful thing.
Yeah, definitely. I guess my next question would be, what does the program look like? Is it like a 6-week program that goes slowly into making the art, or is it multiple art projects within the course? And with that, do you see anything changing in the future of the program?
The program as it is right now is 8 weeks for each session. We have a beginners class, an intermediate class, and during the summer we run what's called our advanced production class. Um, and each one of those classes starts off at 5 o'clock in the evening. Our participants come in and we provide dinner for them. And everyone sits down and has a meal. And they talk, they make jokes, they laugh, they talk about their life, where things are going, and that kind of establishes community.
Mm,
Uh, and then after that, we go into the hot shop, and each class, our teachers have an assignment for the participants. We have about three different benches, um, and we have a teacher at every single bench, and then we have another teacher kind of floating in between. Um, the first class we do what's called dropping a cookie, and that is where you just take out a big glob of glass and you drop it on this metal table, which is called a marver, and then you take different glass blowing instruments and you make impressions in it. And so that's the first one, is our teachers do drop a cookie on the marver, and the students will just take a little instrument and make an impression in the glass. And so it gives them a feeling of, all right, I'm getting into using this material. And then from there, the next class, you're learning how to um, sit down at the bench, how to open the bench, which is basically where you take the punty or the blowpipe, and then you kind of maneuver it so you can get in and out of the bench. And you also learn the different mechanics in terms of like always keeping it turning, because those are things that you're going to need to know once you actually take what's called a gather out of the furnace.
and
And
this is a beginner class.
this is the beginner class. And so then
Man.
they take their first gather,
Hmm.
and then from there they're off and running to the races. They're
Nice.
making things like paperweights, um, cups, bowls, all of those different types of things over the course of the program.
Mm,
Um, and each week there's something different. And our we have a syllabus, and our teachers, within the framework of the different projects on the syllabus, um, each week decide what the students are going to do. Um, and yeah, so that's kind
man.
of like the framework of the class.
That's amazing. I actually remember getting a paperweight from one of the students, and now it sits on my desk. It makes it that much more meaningful hearing now the whole process they have to go through to make the paperweight, you know? So that being the beginner class, I'm wondering now, the intermediate or advanced class, is that building upon the beginner class? Do they have to take the beginner class, or can some people go immediately into the intermediate?
No, everyone has to go through all of the classes,
Mm,
and that way our teachers are able to make sure that they can assess people's skill level, and
mm,
also not only is the program about learning the skill, but it's also about the social component that comes
yeah.
with it. Having a cohort of people that you can depend on, that you look forward to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
People in our Hot Shop Heroes class get together outside of our classes and, form community. Um, and as time passes, some people will be in intermediate classes with other people that weren't in their original cohort, and that community intersects
Yeah.
with different time periods, and so it starts to form this web of this larger Hot Shop Heroes community.
Yeah. Just hearing the first step in the beginner's class is to know that each time we'll start with a dinner. That is, again, that's something that I think food brings people together. Definitely with Thanksgiving coming up, you feel that in the air. Even me, I've been baking for, work potlucks. So that's a very big part of, I want to say, community engagement. And just hearing this alone, I hope that sparks some creativity in the air for other programs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, we always make sure that we have that dinner together.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily stay for the whole class of every single class, but I'm there for every dinner so that I can just sit down and talk to all of our participants.
Mm-hmm.
I also kind of view myself as somebody, who manages the program, and if people have any issues, I can kind of like talk about them with them so we can work them out, figure out how to have a workaround for what anybody has going on.
Yeah.
And so I definitely always make sure that I have dinner with everyone, and just kind of see what types of things people are talking about. Um, and I think it runs the gamut from serious conversations, people talking about, um, a lot of our participants, particularly the ones who are coming from the base, might be um, towards the end of their military service. And
Mm-hmm.
some of our veterans are able to have conversations about what that was like for them, discuss strategies for different, I guess, medical procedures or tests that they need to have done as they're ending service. And just being able to kind of talk to somebody who's been through the same experiences that you're going through, walked the same road.
Yep.
Uh, and I think that that is a strength of the program. We have veterans and active military from ranging, some people who were in the military during Vietnam to people who are currently in the military.
Mm.
And so like that's a wide range. Um,
Yeah.
and just to see that there's so many similarities in experience. Obviously, as time goes on, things change, but some things are just innate. Uh, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's really interesting just to kind of see all of the different ways that people had similar experiences.
Yes. And to hear that they can talk to each other and talk to the program manager. If they have a need, it can be reached. And that could be a, through any one of the program, really. So that just again goes to make sure that as leaders in our programming, we have to be accessible and also just part of the community itself, going out there, like you said, being available, making sure that every dinner you're at least there for. I applaud that. That is part of just having fun.
Absolutely. And aside from me, like we have amazing teachers. Um,
Hmm.
we have about four teachers, and then another teacher that just kind of floats if um, there's somebody who needs to be absent. Um, and so we have John, we have Eli, we have Mary, we have Shannon, uh,
Man, that's a lot.
we have Mackenzie, uh,
Nice.
and yeah, and so. Out of those, obviously, you could tell like three of our teachers are women.
Hmm.
Um, and we have two men, so making sure that um, the women who are a part of our program, feel safe and
Mm,
accommodated. Uh, those are very important things for our culture as part of Hot Shop Heroes.
yeah.
And so we want to, um, yeah, we want Hot Shop Heroes to read as a safe space.
With the time we have left, is there any upcoming either events or is there anything that you would want to say about the program?
Well, the program right now is on a break, and it resumes in January for our winter session. We just had our Veterans Day programming, and so each year for Veterans Day, um, we have an event um, that is essentially uh, the culmination of the year in terms of the classes because it's the our last class of the year, the fall class um, ends right before Veterans Day, and so when we have our Veterans Day event, we usually give out certificates to participants, as well as a glass coin. And this year, we generally have a person who is an artist and also a veteran come out and speak for our Veterans Day event. And this year we had three participants from Hot Shop Heroes and one of our teachers speak at the event. Um, that
That's
started off
amazing.
with a color guard, and then we had some words from um, uh, the chair of our board of directors for the museum, and myself, and also our curator of education, who was here from the beginning of the program to speak about the program. And then after that, we had three participants,
Mm,
all very different, give testimonials about their experience in Hot Shop Heroes. Um,
to
and
celebrate.
yeah, in order
Yeah.
to celebrate just like their experience. Uh,
Yeah.
One of those participants has become a um, kind of a glass blower on their own. That's what they do professionally now. Um, and then one of the students was a former um, pediatrician in the military, and now is like a full-time mom, speaking about how Hot Shop Heroes has kind of given her something new to look forward to, something outside of what she's doing on an everyday
Mm,
basis. Um, and then I alluded to him earlier, our participant who was in the Navy talked about
hmm.
how the hot shop was kind of like going inside of the area of the ship that he was in.
Yeah.
Um, and then how much, the program has meant to him, not only in terms of just working through issues, but also just socially. And
Mm,
so, um, and then after that, we we gave out the coins and certificates. And so, even if people aren't attending there, we make sure that we call everybody's name who was part of the program this year, whether that was in the winter at the beginning in January, the spring, or the summer with our advanced production class,
hmm.
which, by the way, is a class where the students are producing work that will be sold in
Oh,
our store. And then
nice.
a large percentage of the proceeds then go back towards the program itself.
Oh,
And so, like, they're helping to support the program
yeah.
that was essentially really good to them.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
and so, yeah, after that was pretty much it. But yeah, what we're looking forward to now is the start of the new year, start of a new class,
Hmm.
a new beginners class, and some of our beginners from this year are coming back as intermediates, and just kind of looking forward to how they grow uh, in their experience and with us as a part of our community.
I really look forward for them as well as participants of this program because everyone going through this, there's some transformation, there's some community engagement. It's a wonderful program. And again, thank you so much for all you do for the program as program manager. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. And is there any last words that just you would like to say for the Artswa podcast?
Definitely thankful that Artois continues to fund us and support us. Um, Definitely in terms of not only like helping to finance the program, but also just any additional support that we might need. Thankful that Hot Shop Heroes is able to continue. I mean, this program's been around since 2013 and it's
Hmm.
2025. And hopefully it just continues to grow and affect more lives.
Yeah.
Um, we are dealing with a community that has dealt with trauma through service, and that's what we aim at. Our aim is to be that part of that clinic to community continuum, where we are that community that is embracing service members. Um, most of our teachers are civilians. Um, with the exception of John. And our participants are forming relationships not only with other military and former military, but also with the civilian population, this artistic community. Um, and that takes place in so many different ways. We have some of our participants who have gone on to be volunteers or docents at the museum. So there's a wide range
Yeah.
of things that happen out of this, and the way that our participants are able to form and be embraced by community.
Love to see that. Love to hear about it. Thank you so much, Jabari, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening and a good Thanksgiving.
All right, you as well. Thank you, Gabriella.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to WAM, the Wellness, Arts, and Military Podcast, where we're more than just finger paints. Stay connected with us for more inspiring stories and resources. And remember, art and well-being are a powerful pair.